Welcome back to PhilDev, and this is the third devlog for Grapshot. And before we get into the video, I'd like to quickly talk about the Grapshot character contest. If you go onto my Discord server, go into the Grapshot character submissions, send your character submission over there. I will put it into this section of the game here, so you can see all of the characters have been put into this section of the game. And yeah, if you want to make a character, the rules will be on the Discord. So the first thing I have added is the main menu, and I'm really happy how the main menu turned out. It's nice and simplistic with the UI over here. All the buttons work, so you press extras, about, fan art and credits. So fan art section obviously takes you to the fan art page, you can look for all the fan art. Credits take you to the credits, but I'm not going to look at that right now. And obviously the play button takes you into the game. Another thing that's changed is the camp has a lot of new additions. So over here you can actually find the tutorial. Now I'm going to very quickly go through the tutorial, not look at it in too much depth, but it pretty much just explains the very basics of the game, shows you how to dodge traps, shows you how to loot crates. There's a shop here which I'll explain more detail later, but essentially you can buy and steal from the shop, but if you steal, this guy will be after you. And yeah, that's the tutorial. Other things that's changed is there's now rain, which not always spawns, but there's a chance for rain to be spawning in the camp. Some new lighting effects like the sun rays you can see here, a parallax background in the background, and if you go up here there is a lore tablet. And the lore tablet clues in the name, you can click through some lore in the game and read about how some of the enemies work. So the in-game shop is obviously very different to the shop you find in the camp, and I'm going to explain how it works now. So there is a new currency in the game. This currency is called shards, and your shards will reset every single run. To get shards you can kill enemies, and the more difficult the enemy is, the more shards you will get. And the shop will spawn in every second level, so every area there is 3 levels, and on the second level of each area a shop will spawn. And in the shop it spawns 3 random upgrades. If you buy it, say I want to get the reduced gravity ability, I can get the reduced gravity ability. But if I don't have enough shards to get it, obviously you won't be able to buy it here, you can press space and it will take you to steal mode. So all the shards will now cost nothing, all the upgrades now cost nothing, and then when you get the item, the shopkeeper will now chase after you. Now what you're probably thinking is that it's super easy to steal and you might as well just steal every time and save up your shards. Now that would be the case, but actually the shopkeeper will spawn on every single level after you have stolen from him. So here are all of the new updates I've added in this devlog. So the first one is this missile, and it is a homing missile. So pretty much what it does is it transforms your normal bullet into a homing missile. So I've got some demo enemies here. In the actual game they will obviously chase you, but for the purpose of this demonstration they will not move. So when you click, you see the homing missile will go to the nearest enemy, like that. And this next one is explosive bullets. So not only does this combine with the homing missile, but it will deal area of effect and double damage. So this upgrade is pretty powerful. The next upgrade here is lifesteal. And when you kill 3 enemies, you will gain 1 health. You can see how many enemies you've killed by the UI over here on the left hand side of your screen. And the last upgrade is the shoot twice upgrade. And what this bullet does is every time you shoot, it shoots 2 projectiles. And you also might be wondering why the homing missile is shooting straight. And that's because when there is no other enemies left in the scene, it will work as a normal projectile. This is a new area. As you can clearly see, it is a temple, and it's still a work in progress, mainly in the looks. There's still a lot of decoration that needs to be added, so yeah, keep in note that this is a work in progress. And over here, I believe there is one of the first new enemies, and this enemy is straight from one of my other games called Froggo. I thought the idea would work pretty cool in this game, as its bones actually work as a sort of shield, so he can protect himself with his bones, and you have to shoot the actual skull in the middle to deal damage. And here is the other enemy. This guy is super fast, and when he gets near to you he will stop for a bit and fire projectiles at you. He also has, I think, 6 health. Yeah, I think that was actually 5. So he has 5 health, and when you get really close to him, he will retreat. So the next thing is there is a timer in the top right, and when this timer gets to 3 minutes, it will say you're out of time, and it will start spawning a bunch of missiles on you. This is to prevent players from going AFK and make them hurry up and get to the next level. There is also some new enemies in the mushroom biome, the first one being this enemy, which works very similar to the masked dude in the temple biome. So what it does is it moves at a certain speed. When it gets close, it shoots at you, the only difference being its projectiles are homing and will follow you. And he has less health and moves faster. The next enemy is this one, which is in a really awkward spot, but what it does is it's kind of like the enemy I just showed you, but it doesn't actually move. It's just like a turret that sits on the ceiling and shoots projectiles at you when you pass it. So 2 things in this clip. The first one is that the lasers have been changed. Before they looked pretty lame and unimpactful. Now they look the opposite. They look a lot more impactful, and I prefer the new ones a lot more. The second thing is the disguised grabber, and you can see the disguised grabber there. It's quite hard to see, which is why it's disguised. But when you go down into him, he will grab you and deal 1 damage. So you gotta look out for these guys when traversing the grass area. So here's the first new boss fight. It's a pretty simple boss fight. All the boss does is jump and attack at you. And that is really all there is to say about the boss fight. I'm going to put the rest of the boss fight on time-lapse on the video now. And this boss fight is easily the boss fight. I'm much more proud of how it turned out. So yeah, here's the final boss. So spoiler warning up ahead. This is the final boss, so if you want to go unspoiled, you might want to skip the video here. So this boss is not done yet. Mainly the level decoration, same problem as the temple. It's still a bit plain. But yeah, that was the first stage of the boss fight, and then the second stage, the lava will rise. And you got these lasers you have to avoid. So wait for the lasers to go, and then you can climb up. It also has its own soundtrack, which I know you guys can't hear. So once you get up to the top here, the boss fight will go into its stage 2. There is quite a lot of differences, but it's kind of hard to tell. Basically just his horns get a whole bunch bigger. And actually the homing missiles don't seem to be working on the final boss. That is a bug that I need to fix. But then it turns pretty similar to the mushroom boss fight and kind of teleports above you and then slams down. And it also summons spikes from the ceiling to try and get you. And I will play the rest of the boss fight now. And then when you beat it, you see it plays a really cool death animation. I want to add a death animation like this for all of the bosses. To do that won't take me too long. But then when you get to the end, you see the dead version of the boss. And then it plays this little cutscene here, and then it fades out and sends you into the credits. So the shop system has also changed a bit to make it easier to make a save load system, because I did not know save load systems would be as hard as they are to make. But I have found a working version, but it is compromised just a little bit. So this is how it works. So pretty much instead of actually spending your coins, all you need is a required amount of coins. So you see I need 200 coins for this. So I can obviously get it because I have more than 200 coins. I might have enough for everything right now, but if I quickly went into the stats and reduced my coins. So you see if I have 500, I can't get anything that costs 600 or more. And you're probably wondering why this is easier for the save load system. Well, that is because all of the items in here actually have the same script. So if I try to make a player prefs in this script, every single item here will be using the same saved data. Therefore, they will all either be unlocked or they will all either be locked. So that's why this system works a lot better for now, because all I have to save is the coins and not if any of the characters are bought or not. And it will also save how many enemies you've killed and the quest. So if I need to kill 10 enemies, and then just pretend I have killed 10 here. So obviously the monkey is unlocked now and I can choose it. But if I completely reload the game and go back into the camp, go over here, the monkey will still be unlocked, and it's saved how many coins I have. So the save load system is finally working. Another change I did is I made this arena much bigger, so you can see, the arena is much bigger, and I also added a parallax background. There is also this secret up here. There is a secret up here. You can actually go in there, but I'm not going to show what's in there. You have to play the game when it's out for yourself and see what's in there. And the moment everyone's waiting for, the game will release on the 20th of June 2021. That's when the PC version of Grapshot will release. I'm hoping that the mobile version will release a few weeks later, but 20th of June 2021 is when the PC version will release. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.